I'm going to do a short tutorial on how I did the drip marble that's underneath the stamping here, and just because I did it in a slightly different method. So the polishes I'm going to be using are China Glaze, that's Shore Bright, and DJ Blew My Mind, and Pearl Jammin. Okay, and I'm going to use this piece of binder plastic that I have cut up because I feel that the drip marble moves around a lot better on plastic than it does on a silicone mat. The silicone mat is a little bit more grippy and it helps the polish dry faster, which I really like for decals, but for something like this that I'll show you, I prefer this plastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm just laying down for drip marble. I think it's best to have a lot of polish and have it quite thick so that you can move it around a lot more. Okay, then if you have a thin layer of polish. And you can use any polishes you want. That's the beauty of drip marbling and fluid art and things like that. It's not like water marbling where you have to find polishes that it will work. So you can do it in whatever order you want. Okay, so now that I've got my late polishes down, I am going to swirl this around, okay, until I get the pattern that I like. And I really like those lines to be forming like that. See how you can really manipulate the polish. With this plastic, it flows just really well. Okay, right, and I really like that middle bit there with the lines of the blue and the shimmer in the purple. So the thing that I'm going to do differently is for drip marbling, you can do sort of one or two things. Here you could just let this dry as a decal and then wait for it to dry, peel it off, and then apply to your nails. There are a few cons with this. One, it takes a long time to dry, and two, depending upon how well you move your polishes, it can get a bit thick, which makes it a bit difficult to apply and can look a little thick and chunky on your nail. So the other method that I've been using is to take a stamper, and here I'm just using the Creative Shop Holo Glassy one, but you can use any clear stamper, and you don't even have to use a clear, but the clear makes it easier for you to see what you're doing and then to place it on your nail later. So I'm just going to take the stamper and just slowly push down straight into the design. As you can see here, it picked up the design pretty well. There's a bit of distortion, but it still is, and you can see the other side of it, but it's still good enough for drip marble and for the design that I was looking for. So now what I'm gonna do is let that dry a bit, okay, so that the design is set onto the stamper, because if you tried to stamp it on your nail right now, the whole design would smear because it's just too wet. So you want to let this dry for a few minutes, and it's a pretty thin layer. There's a section there right at the end where it was a little thick, but for the most part, it's a pretty thin layer of polish, and it will not take that long to dry. So once that's dry, then you can just stamp it onto your nail. And I would definitely recommend putting a bit of latex around your nail so that the whole thing comes off easily. But for me, that's been the best way to apply these, okay? So Here I just have white, and for my nails, I'd actually just put a just a single coat of the lightest color, which in this case was the Pearl Jammin, and that's what I used to put on the on my nails before I stamp this. And again, right now it's too dry I mean, not dry enough for this to stamp, but I would give it a couple of minutes more and then stamp the portion that I really like onto the nail. And it's really just as simple as that. And so it's a lot quicker than waiting for the whole decal to dry. And I find that applying a decal is a little bit harder than applying this much thinner stamping sort of decal. So this is the method that I prefer. Anyway, hope that was useful, and thanks for watching as always.